It's like 10:30 right now. And you might be saying to yourself, Devon, you just posted a morning routine. This was not included in the video. What I would say to that is that I am deathly ill. You can probably hear it in my voice right now, but I am so sick right now. Head sickness, congestion, headache, all of the above. I got tested yesterday, so I know it's not Miss Rona, but I just am not feeling good. So this morning, all I could do was make myself some French toast. I have really been trying to stick on my like healthy eating, and I have for the most part, but a smoothie when I'm feeling like this just was not it. So I'm gonna try and salvage the rest of this day, because although I do feel ill, I still have to like continue going, but I can do things that are a bit less strenuous. On my to-do list for today, I have a few projects that I just want to start. I have been thinking to myself, I literally have no hobbies. So I went to Michael's and purchased a few things. Let's cut to the clips. Okay, now we're back from Michael's. And I got some clay. It's like self-dry clay, some knitting needles, as well as some yarn to knit something. And I got some stuff to make some jewelry. So I want to see like if I can do something with that stuff today. I feel like all of those tasks will be pretty therapeutic in my morning routine. I said that I was about to be going to Paris, or that I was already in Paris, and that was when I thought that video wasn't going to be posted until like next week or something. But this video is literally going to be posted the day before I go to Paris. I want to find some type of trench coat because it is cold in Paris. I have like $18 worth of credit to this one thrift store, so I'm gonna go and see if I can find a long, hopefully leather trench coat, because that would just be iconic. And then we're gonna come back and get into the hobby finding, because I literally have no hobby that don't require me spending copious amounts of money. Thrifting, okay, maybe a hobby, but it takes up so much of my money. I guess all hobbies take up a lot of money, because I would say at one point in my life golf was my big hobby, but that is expensive. Working out is not too expensive, but it's like, do I really enjoy doing that? Not really. Why am I going through these things? It provides no context to the video, so I'm gonna get up. I just don't want to move. As of this morning, we've booked all of our accommodation in Paris and in France and in Italy. I'm not sad, but like we were going to be going to Switzerland, but it just was quite literally too difficult to get to. So we nixed Switzerland altogether, and we are going now to Paris, south of France, Amalfi Coast, and Rome. So I'm really excited for all of that. And we booked all of our accommodations this morning, and last night we booked all of our flights. All we have to do still is book like some Airbnb experiences. Then we're gonna be ready. I'm so excited. I literally have all of my clothes that I want to wear on my racks, and they've been sitting there for so long because I'm like, I just want all of these clothes to be together. But I have a video soon coming of me just trying on all of that stuff. I'm probably gonna post it either right when I come back or when I'm about to come back home, because I want you guys to see all the fits on my Insta first. So go follow me on Instagram if you want to see my European wardrobe, because I really love it. Like, I have been looking at it for the past few weeks and I'm just like, I'm obsessed with this. I really want to start dressing like this at home. Blah 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 blah. Nobody cares. Let's go. So I thought I was gonna go to one thrift store, but it's just so far from me. I'm going to the thrift store that I typically go to. I have a return, and on Thursdays they have like 25% off. You know what is like incredibly embarrassing is posting on social media, period. Okay, I'm here now, but I had one closing thought, and that is, did I even film anything that I was just saying? Because my camera just shut off. I went into the thrift store and I blacked out. I was having so many thoughts this morning, yesterday, over the past week, because I have like a personal project that I'm starting, and whenever I start anything, there's like a few people that I tell. It's not always the same people, but you know, like if I'm talking to you, if I have a conversation with you during the beginning stages of whatever it is that I'm doing, I'll probably run it by you and be like, oh, like I'm thinking about doing this, just as casual conversation. It's so interesting because I've noticed that I've been kind of dragging my feet on starting it. I have never been a person that's like, that it's slow to start something. Like I always just get on it and I'm just like, okay, let's do it, boom, 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 we're done. I'm an Enneagram 3, if you guys didn't know. Lately, I've been dragging my feet on things, and I have been like really wondering, why am I doing this? It's not that I'm scared about rejection or scared about really anything. And then I was thinking, every other time when I have had an idea that I really wanted to start pursuing, I've had a community of people around me who are also doing that exact same thing. Like when I was in college and I started my YouTube channel, although nobody else in my college or my friends were starting YouTube channels, they were also starting projects of their own, whether it's schoolwork or applying to jobs or whatever it was, or applying to study abroad programs. I guess that's the time period where I started my YouTube channel, was right before you start applying to jobs, but you're still like doing stuff, you're still doing your own thing, and you're having fun, like starting something new. I've always had a community of people around me to kind of encourage me to keep going, and I do not have that right now. And I just was thinking like, oh my gosh, that's so interesting, because regardless of how much people like say there's a support, like they give verbal confirmation that they are supporting me and whatever I do, right now I feel so isolated. I don't have people around me that are also trying to accomplish, like, you know, projects, okay? They're not trying to start things. Like, I feel like a lot of people around me are very much in their track of what they want to do, and it's not like they need to accomplish something, they're just continuing, basically. I was telling some of my friends about this, like, oh, I think I want to start this, and most of them were like, oh, that's so fun, like, you should definitely do that, you would be so good at that, whatever. But then some of them were just like, well, not a majority, like very small number of people who I told this were like, why would you do that? There are so many things that you can be good at. Like, you don't need to be a one-trick pony. And I think that anything that's not like socially normal, I feel like I have dropped at the door, because I'm doing this as my full-time job. So I feel like I can do anything. Like, I don't think that there's anything that I can't do. And so I was just like, a really interesting moment, like realizing, okay, there definitely will be some people, not everyone will agree with every single thing that I do, even people who are close to me. But yeah, I really do. I think I see the value and see the need to establish like some type of community that is not online, because as great as people online are, like, you don't really know me, or I don't really know you. If I know you from social media, I don't really know you unless I've like been with you in person for an extended period of time. Because I just think of my college friendships when we were together 24/7, and even those people, I felt like I knew them completely, and then I would visit them at home, like with their family, and I get this whole completely different side of them. And it's like, you're learning things about these people every single day. Like, there's never a point when you know someone in their entire, like the entire story of who they are. And I don't know where I'm going with this, but I was just like, I need friends in real life. Like, I literally need real life friends, and I do have great real life friends, I'm not gonna lie. But I I think that I, for a second, was like, oh, I don't really value, not that I don't value friendship, but it was not a priority to me, but I need to start making it a priority. Like hanging out with my friends and making new friends, as hard and daunting as that may be. I made this veggie soup yesterday. This soup is like the soup that fills the nooks and crannies of my soul. It has peppers, onions, fire roasted corn, black beans, diced tomatoes. You can add a ton of stuff into it, but it has garlic in it as well. It's just so good, and the best part about it is the chipotle peppers and adobo sauce. You add just a little bit of it because too much will make it like inedible. Like you literally couldn't eat it because it would be so spicy. Spicy stuff like has this way of clearing out my sinuses, and so whenever I'm like the smallest hint of sick, I run to this recipe. And the avocado, the bland taste of avocado really balances it out. I also have some orange squeeze Olipop, my favorite Olipop ever, although strawberry vanilla is really growing on me lately. I put it in these reusable containers because our other bowls, they just don't hold enough. While they're cute, they're not functional. Just look at how good that bite looks. Hearing people eat is like top 10 biggest pet peeve. Actually, I would chuck that up to top 3. I have to exit the video. I'm sorry, I have to exit the video. Cute. Okay, these could very well be the best pants I've ever owned. Obsessed with it. It's pretty light, but it seems very warm. We'll be coming to Paris with me. And lastly, I got this little orange top. I want to make this like a one shoulder top that's all over Princess Polly that looks like this. We're about to start hobby number 1, and it's this air dry clay. Did I need a can this big? Obviously not. I'm raw dogging this. I'm not even gonna look up a tutorial on how to do this. I've literally never done pottery except for probably in 5th or 6th grade. I think I'm gonna make a cup or a vase. I literally don't know. I don't know, but this feels really nice in my hands. And I'm gonna put on some Gossip Girl. Do you guys see how hard I'm breathing? I'm wheezing. I can't. We're making do with what we got. Honest, that was pretty fun. In the next few days, we'll see how they turn out. I made a cup and I want it to be like a coffee mug. I don't know how good these things will turn out with no kiln. So while I was making that, I was thinking about this personal project that I was talking about earlier. It requires me to basically redo my entire resume. If you guys didn't know, I went to the University of South Carolina and I graduated with a degree in chemical engineering. I'm so incredibly grateful for my learning experience and for my time at USC. It brought me so many great things into my life, but now I'm kind of in a different direction. And so for the longest time, my self-worth was held up by how good I was at chemical engineering and at being a student and stuff like that. And so now my resume is having to shift from doing that in my chemical engineering experience, and it's shifting towards my marketing, social media, that type of experience. It's just really interesting to think about the idea that I put so much work into something and I'm not getting the exact thing that I wanted to get out of it, but then also realizing, in my wildest dreams, best case scenario, is that outcome something that I really wanted? The worst thing about putting yourself online is that one day you'll say something and the next day you'll think something completely different, and so you'll be seen as a hypocrite. But I think we're all afforded that luxury. You can say something one day and the next day you're like, wait, I don't even know who said that. I am completely different. I have a completely different outlook. I've been through a few more things that can give me a clearer perspective on whatever topic. And now I'm different. Now I think differently. It also is kind of fulfilling to know that something that brings me so much joy is so easy to talk about on a resume. I was sitting like typing up like the stuff that I do, like building a website or implementing a content strategy or whatever it is, analyzing data that I see on my channel and then responding to it in a certain way. It's just so interesting how easy it is for me to talk about that in a way that talking about chemical engineering never was. This is like the first thing I've got excited about in such a long time. I have to take that for something, you know, I have to take that in as like a good thing on some front. Until then, I don't really know. I literally don't know. And I think that's my response to so many things these days, is I do not know. But what I do know right now is that I'm getting a little bit hungry. This is actually kind of sad. This is such a chatty video. This is sad because when I come back from my trip, I am going dairy-free and gluten-free till the end of the year. And it's because I am experiencing like not bad stomach pain, but I clearly feel so much better when I don't eat that stuff. And so I'm gonna just try it till the end of the year, but I've been doing it loosely, but instead of having straight up dairy, I'll have like some alternatives and still keeping in like most of my dairy. And then instead of having gluten, I'll have gluten alternatives, but I think I'm just going to cut it all out because when there's no gluten or when there's no dairy, there's other artificial ingredients. Of course, when I'm in France and Italy, I am going to be eating all the pasta, all the pizza, all the gluten, all the dairy. But when I come back, I'm sad. I'm sad, but it's gonna be a good thing. It's gonna be a good thing because I'm gonna feel so much better, so much more energy. What do I want to eat now? Because I don't want to eat anything that has a lot of either of those things. I'm thinking pad thai.
Together